This past Thanksgiving, activists from around the nation took to airports to encourage passengers to opt out of the controversial body scanners and also to film their experiences being groped by the overly friendly government agency. Many of you have likely seen my recent adventure at Reagan Airport with Adam Kokesh.
You're going to stand where I tell you to stand, or I'm going to put you in handcuffs for my safety.
I'm trying to come talk to you.
But I'm telling you to stand here.
I just want to hear what you're saying to the other friend and make sure you
He's
get the
our
story.
supervisor.
I know, that's why I'm trying to talk to him so he knows what's really happening.
Derek,
And if you don't move and if you do not
I'm
listen,
interested just in speaking with the superior or whoever.
but right now we're talking to you.
Quite fun it was. This was not my first visit to the airport for TSA-related action, though. Over the past couple years, the Houston Freethinkers have made several trips to the airport. The outcome of these interactions with TSA and HPD was a trespassing warning.
You are here advised by authorized representative of the airport, which is me, Houston Airport System, that you are not permitted to return to this property without valid airline tickets. You will be asked to leave or may be arrested by the Houston Police Department, which is them, and prosecuted for criminal trespassing.
Me and a couple other buddies are no longer welcome in the Houston airport system without a proper ticket. Fair enough. I've often joked with friends about being on the no-fly list for being an active activist. Although I'm usually half joking, the idea is not that far-fetched. Recently, a man was stranded in Hawaii after he found out he was on the no-fly list. He says he believes it was related to him being an outspoken critic of the NDAA 2012 and the official story of 9/11. Thankfully, he has now made it home. Well, what if you're not an activist? What if you're just a regular Joe who's not your typical domestic extremist? You know, the Constitution, freedom-loving terrorists we keep hearing about. Well, now the TSA has something to offer you too. According to the November 19th Federal Register newsletter put out by the U.S. government, the TSA is trying to put together a new roster of airport patrons who may be a cause for concern, but not necessarily dangerous enough to be added to the no-fly list that contains suspected terrorists and other persons of interest. This has come as a result of the TSA organizing their new pre-check system where you can pay to whiz through security. According to the newsletter, the watch list of individuals who are disqualified from eligibility from TSA pre-check for some period of time or permanently because they have been involved in violations of security regulations of sufficient severity or frequency. Disqualifying violations of aviation security regulations may involve violations at the airport or onboard aircraft, such as a loaded firearm that is discovered in carry-on baggage, or a threat to use a destructive device against transportation conveyance facilities or personnel. So now, to add to the no-fly list, which has reportedly grown to roughly 21,000 Americans who are unable to fly, we now have the low-risk list. When are we going to stop this? When are we going to stand up and say enough is enough? The war on terror is a hoax, and a horrible one at that. Do some research, not only on the failures of the TSA, but the lies of the global war on terror. Some of you have written me saying that my airport video inspired you, and I'm thankful for that. But if you truly feel inspired, please stand up everywhere you go. Exercise your rights and let others hear you do it. Remember, if you can hear this, you are the resistance.
Free speech is more powerful than an entire fucking military artillery, cause their weapons don't threaten anyone without the villagers killing willingly. I've got a million civilians feeling my resilient, brilliant, witty ability. When I mention objections to the intention of getting protection for liberty, people get offended, but I'm just trying to protect them from the protection of tyranny. Check my intestines, arrest me without a sentence and give me the guillotine, cause I question getting molested in the name of protection. You feeling me? Cause we don't want you